Hi guys, hope you're all okay. Today I'm going to finally do the Q&A video I talked about 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I asked, I think it was on a food haul, if anybody had any questions, and I also put it up on Insta stories, and I got a lot of answers. I got a lot of questions. I've written them all down. This is probably going to be a long video just because I got a lot of questions, and you all know I like to ramble, so you probably want to get comfy, get a brew. I have got a decaf coffee with Starbucks toffee nut syrup in. Almost all gone. Obviously that's a Christmas edition syrup and we're now very late spring, so there's only a little bit left in the cupboard, but I love it. Anyway, I got a lot of questions, a lot of baby questions, which is fine. Kind of, I suppose, obviously it was going to happen. But yeah, there's so many. I'm just going to try and jump in. And here is Darwin. Hey, Barbara. There were lots of questions about you as well. Yes, lots of questions about you. Little Gilly. Right, they're in no particular order. I've literally just written them down as they came in. So, first question, have you been furloughed? No. So, work sent me home very quickly. Basically, I have been on lockdown since the 19th of March. We're now in May. So yeah, originally the plan was I was to be working from home, I think, till the 13th, 14th of June. But I think after the last big government announcement, it is now the 1st of July. However, this week, one of the directors kind of mentioned that it was a rather flippant remark, and we might as well just stay at home now until maternity leave, because I can quite, I don't want to say easily, but I can quite comfortably do my job from home. It's like, it'd be much easier if there are others working in the office so they can scan stuff in and send to me, because a lot of the stuff we do is kept hard copy, like contracts and stuff. So, but yeah, I can do my job from home, so I might be here until August. Oh, favourite Bon Jovi track? Don't think I've ever mentioned Bon Jovi on my channel, ever. But Someday I'll Be Saturday Night would be my favourite Bon Jovi track. Will you be raising the baby in religion? Yes. Controversial? I don't know. John and I go to, not at the moment because we're on lockdown, but you know, we are not like, we don't go to church every week, mostly because, you know, John works 6 days a week. He has a rather busy work-life time. Like our life-work balance isn't always spot on, so we don't go to church that often. You may notice if you watch the vlogs, when we're in Poland, we go to church a lot more frequently because, you know, you're more relaxed because you're not working all the time. So and when we came back from Poland, we were, you know, we went to church a couple of times, and then lockdown happened, and so we stopped. But yes, the baby, you know, we've already talked about godparents and Holy Communion, and yeah, the baby will be raised religion. I would quite like the baby to go to a religious, to go to a Catholic school. However, our options are limited here, so I'm not sure if that will happen. But yes, I think, you know, saying that, because some people have a very one-dimensional view of being a Catholic. I'm not going to go into crazy details because this is already going to be a very long video, but I just think, you know, we have friends of multiple religions, and the baby child will be, you know, shown all of these things. Like we have a very lovely friend called Patrick who is Jewish, and you know, and we have friends who, like, we have friends who are C of E, we have friends who are, is it agnostic? You know, we have friends that don't have any religion at all. and I don't think, I've got friends that would recognise themselves as Jedis. And I think general rule of thumb is, you know, they'd be open to all types of people, all types of faith. But I do think the baby would be raised as Catholic. And obviously if they make a decision when they're older, that's up to them. I am a big believer that faith can give you quite a lot of strength and support. This coffee is burning my hand. Yeah, when my dad died, faith really helped me going through IVF, even though there were times I was very angry at God. Going through IVF, my faith helped me. I know there are a lot of people that say they don't believe in it, but that's kind of the plan. When are you due? Baby's due end of September. Oh, somebody asked, if I'm jumping ahead slightly, but it kind of ties into this question. Do you think the baby will be early or late or on time? And there's lots. I was like, how would you know? But there are lots of like, oh, if it's a boy and the dad was late, statistically the boys are late, and apparently statistically boys are more likely to be later. I don't know if that's an old wives' tale, but the baby definitely won't be late because we are classed as a high-risk pregnancy. We've already been told that we will be induced if we make it to our due date. They also apparently do this for IVF babies. There's something to do with the placenta, and you've got a higher chance of the placenta erupting. I don't know the correct term. So yeah, the baby may be early, but it definitely won't be late because we've been told, the hospital have already told us they won't allow that to happen. But John was 2 weeks late, and I was a very prem baby. My birthday is in April. It should have been in June. I was in an incubator and in SCABU for a very long time, but I'm healthy, I'm fine. But yes, so it might be early, definitely won't be late. Oh, I had a lot of questions about negativity on the internet, trolls, and that kind of thing. And I put trolls in two categories: online trolls and real life trolls. And to be completely honest, I have a bigger issue with real life trolls than online trolls. It's a complicated relationship. I'm quite lucky. I think online I have a relatively small space on the internet. There's not a whole lot of people that watch these videos. You know, I've got a few thousand, you know, I average about somewhere around 1,000 views a video. You know, I've got a few thousand followers on Instagram. I am not, well, you know, I'm not heavily followed. As such, I don't get a whole lot of hate. So I'm quite lucky. Do you know what I mean? I'm always going to get at least 3 thumbs down on every video. Even our IVF success pregnancy announcement, there was thumbs down. And just that kind of thing's like, well, not everyone will like you. I think it's something you learn quite early on in life, that, you know, you can't be everybody's friend. Not everyone will like you. It's fine. I know some people really struggle with negative comments and things. My outlook on that is really, I choose to put myself in a public forum. Do you know what I mean? No one's forcing me to make a YouTube video. I'm choosing to do this. So I'm putting myself out there, and people are going to have opinions, and you're entitled to an opinion. Sharing that opinion is a different thing. Do you know what I mean? There are people on the internet that I think are utter knobs, and I don't watch their content, but I wouldn't comment on their video telling them that I thought they were a knob. Does that make sense? It's not something I would do. Oh, hello, Gil. You having a little mooch? See you later. Yeah, I wouldn't comment. Do you know what I mean? It's like there are people out there that are full-time YouTubers that make videos on is it called Minecraft, like video games. I would never go onto one of their videos and go boring content. And if you're not into food hauls, don't watch my food haul. Why feel the need to put boring content? Do you know what I mean? But again, I've chosen to share it, so people have a right to an opinion. You know, I've had some really random stuff over the years. Most of it I ignore. Because, you know, it's not all lies. Do you know what I mean? It's not like someone's just being horrible to me. Fat, oh God, you know, I used to get a lot of fat comments, ugly comments, you know. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I ain't skinny. And obviously, yeah, I lost weight to what I once was, but I'm still technically fat. You know, I get a lot of grief from vegans. It happens, you know, that especially like, because I have a few of my food hauls. As I said earlier, most of my videos get about 1,000 views. I've had a few food hauls that have got more than that. For some reason, they've been picked up by an algorithm and they've had more viewings from that. Those videos, I get comments saying that I'm promoting murder. You know, I get a lot of angry vegans comment on those kind of things. I've had some really weird stuff. A couple of years ago, I had a bloke that accused me of lying about being English and said that I was clearly South African. Clearly. I had another one that used to comment on all my food hauls. I like it when you buy sausages. And then if I hadn't bought sausages, why haven't you bought sausages this week? Do you know what I mean? It's just a little bit weird. But yeah, not everyone can like you. I suppose a part of it which I don't understand is like, I'm not like I'm telling you people how to live their lives. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, there are some Instagram people, some YouTube people out there that are like, look at my perfect life with, you know, my Instagram house and my perfect everything, and I'm only going to eat organic, vegan, blah blah blah. I'm not doing that. It's not. I don't even do tutorials. I show people what I've bought and I ramble about my life. I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm just showing you how I'm kind of surviving. But yeah, it's I guess what I'm saying is I don't fully running dogs. I don't fully understand why people do it. Like, I get people might not like me, that's fine. But I don't understand why people would put effort and energy into watching somebody they don't like. But as I said, I choose to put myself out there, so I can't really complain about it. What I do have an issue with, so that's like online trolls. Real life trolls are a bigger issue to me. And what I mean by that is, you probably wouldn't use the term troll. You probably say like frenemy. Is that a thing anymore? Do people still use that term? Yeah, I have had quite a lot of frenemy experience in my time. And I suppose, hello, Baba. Hello. And that is something that I struggled with. Like you say, my reaction to online trolls is kind of like, meh, okay, you don't like me, you're entitled to your opinion. But I think why I struggle more with real life ones is because these are people that you think are your friends, that you think like you, and then they're stabbing you in the back. And then that's kind of worse because, you know, an online troll doesn't like you and they're never going to like you. And there's nothing you really can do to change that. But when a person to your face is kind of like your friend and kind and supportive, and you're like sharing stuff back and forth, and then you realise actually they're a nasty little beep. There's next door's dog barking. That's hard. And I've experienced that through real life friendships and like online friendships, and that's the bit that kind of it's taken me to my ripe old age to kind of get on with that. When I lost a lot of friends when I lost my weight, and it was quite clear that people were quite happy for me to be their fat, loud friend that didn't mind people laughing at them. And when I was kind of their chunky, loud friend that happened to now be slimmer than them, they didn't want to be friends with me anymore. Kind of, you know what I mean? Same as, friends that, we're all, when I was sharing my infertility stuff, and, friends saying, oh, we're in it together, I'm in the same place as you. And then, obviously I went down the line of IVF and took 3 goes, but here we are currently pregnant. And they weren't pregnant through actions that they took or didn't take, and now they're not my friend because I'm pregnant and they're not. And that comes down to life choices. Obviously I wasn't naturally blessed with pregnancy. It was time, effort, money, tears, pain, sacrifice, and I made choices to get here. And those certain individuals made different choices and didn't, they wanted a baby, but they didn't want to put any work or effort in. And, again, life choices, that's fine. You do you, I'll do me. But then the internet is giant, but at the same time, there is only so many of us. And when you find out that somebody who you think is your friend bitching about you to another person that you're a friend with, I'm trying to do this tactfully. When online friendship, and then someone is slagging you off through WhatsApp to another person who also does a little bit of social media stuff, and then that social media mutual friend sending you screenshots of person you thought was your friend bitching about you, you're kind of like, oh, okay. That's what I mean. That is what I don't need when I'm sharing personal aspects of my life. Obviously I share personal stuff here, but the stuff that I was sharing with friend, that's it. That's end. Block. Gone. Done. Not my friend anymore. And that's kind of that's my difference between online trolls, social media follower trolls, and people who you think are friends that are frenemy trolls. They are gone. And it's taken me a long time to not want to try and make friendships work. If you're bitching about me to somebody else who then, liked a little bit of a stir and took screenshots and sent it to me, or even real life friends, that they liked me when I was, say, fat and loud, and when I am achieving the things I want to achieve, they're not supportive anymore. They're not my friends anymore. Does that make sense? I've rambled on too long, but yeah, that is my view on online and real life trolls. Have you picked your pram yet? Seen a pram I really, really like. Both me and John really like a Silver Cross pram that we've seen, or a Silver Cross set. You get the car seat and everything. But I really want to see it before I buy it because it's quite expensive. I think Silver Cross is a brand that quite a lot of people use. Apparently John had a Silver Cross pram when he was a kid. The royal family have a Silver Cross pram. Obviously we won't be having that one because that's very expensive. But yeah, I've seen one I really like, but I want to see it in real life, which I don't know if that's going to happen because of lockdown. We might just have to order it online and bite the bullet. But say the shops that sell that kind of thing aren't open currently. Why do you do YouTube after my 20-minute talk about trolls? Because it's fun. I like YouTube. It is my hobby. YouTube does not pay my mortgage. It's just a bit of fun. I have made some nice friends. I've met some nice people. And mostly YouTube makes me buy stuff that I don't technically need. But yeah, I enjoy it. I really like vlogs. If I'm feeling sad or if I'm feeling poorly, I have a tendency to watch Christmas vlogs back, like mine and John's own Christmas vlogs, which might sound really sad. I also think now we have been blessed with a baby or to be pregnant, I really think vlogs are going to happen even more because, you know, you'll get to see the baby growing up type thing. Even if they're not all on the internet, I do have a tendency to record a vlog and then just put it on our hard drive for me and John. I just, when I look at like family vloggers that I follow, it must be so lovely to be able to go back and see, you know, your children when they were little. And on the same aspect is like, sounds really odd what I'm about to say, but my dad's been gone 10 years, a little bit over 10 years, and I'm kind of at that point where I've forgotten what his voice sounds like. Which, oh God. Eyes prick, not crying. But I know what he looks like. There's photos of him in my house, but I can kind of remember his voice, but it's also very similar to Sean Bean's voice in my head. And I just think, you know, if I had a video, I could watch it. I don't have one, but yeah, that's a little bit morbid, but hey. 3 things you hate that others love. Love Island. Don't like Love Island. I think I've watched like a small fragment of an episode. It's like old school Big Brother on silicone crack injections. I don't know. It's not me. Going to the hairdresser. That's why I have such crap hair. I hate the hairdresser for a mixture of reasons. Mostly, I think because I've had too many bad experiences. Like, you know, my hair looks like crap, but I've just gone to, like, you know, when you go to like a nice salon and then the hairdresser does what they want, not what you've asked, and then charges you £1 million for it. That no. And it's also the whole, are you going on holiday? And it also, part of it also used to be, got any kids? And obviously fertility and stuff is not something you want to share with a stranger. I think basically I need to have a friend and make them become a hairdresser. But yeah. And the third thing is TikToks on Instagram. It really irritates me. I'm not 100% sure why it irritates me so badly. But yeah, if I wanted to watch your TikTok, I'd watch you on TikTok. I don't want to watch your TikToks on Insta stories. Does that make sense? Does it bug anyone else? Watching watching somebody on Instagram that you normally really like, that you enjoy their content, and now they're doing the same stupid dance that your 14-year-old niece is doing on TikTok. I just, But a lot of people love it because a lot of people do it. Favourite candle scent? Currently, that's a coffee scented one. Got it from Cherries. Christmas, I would say, if Christmas scented candles, I burn them pretty much all year round. I think they make me happy. Anything Christmas makes me happy, but yeah, Christmas scented candles. When will I be doing a bump pic? When I get one. Point of recording this, I'm currently 20 weeks 2 days pregnant, so we are now officially halfway through. I don't have a defined bump yet. Now, don't get me wrong, there is podge, but I just kind of look like I've had a big Christmas dinner. Like, I just look bloated. I do not have a beautiful defined bump. I follow a lot of people on Instagram that are at a similar place of me in their pregnancy, and they all seem to have very nice bumps now. Ooh. However, good old Google has kind of told me that plus size ladies don't tend to get a bump until like 6th, 7th month. So that's where we're at. But yeah, like if I put my maternity dungarees on, I've got a bit more, it gives me a bit of definition. But at the moment, I just look podgy. I don't. But when I get a nice bump, trust me, you'll be bored of the photos of it. Weight gain. So this is quite interesting. So because I knew I was recording this video today, I got on the scales. I don't do it religiously. Got on the scales this morning. I am officially 6 pounds heavier than my transfer day, which was in January. So yeah, 6 pounds, 20 weeks pregnant. However, I very much believe I lost weight in my first trimester. Because I just wasn't eating because I was feeling sick and nauseous all the time. So I think I've kind of gained what I lost in the first trimester, and yeah, I'm now like 6 pounds up. I definitely have lost weight on my bum, which is weird because it's not a place I normally lose weight. Let's say, and I've gained it on my face and my boobs, and I say the belly is podgy at the moment, but funnily enough, my thighs and butt have kind of slimmed down slightly. So yeah, 6 pounds. I'm not that concerned about weight gain through pregnancy. It's kind of, obviously, if you've been with me a while, you know when I was my size 28/30 self, I had no issue with being a big girl. Had no issue with it. If anything, I was more confident in my body, bigger than I was at my skinniest. So, and it's kind of like the only reason, being brutally honest, the only reason I lost the weight was for IVF. Saying that, obviously I want to have a healthy pregnancy and I want to be a healthy mum, so I'm not going to kind of like say stuff it, I'm going to eat what I want and get that size again. If I did get that size again, it wouldn't be heartbreaking, but I'm just trying to kind of stay healthy, if that makes sense. You know, I've had friends tell me stuff about, you know, oh well, I put 6 stone on in my pregnancy, I put 4 stone on in my pregnancy. I had one friend that actually lost weight. She was a plus size girl and she actually lost weight because she was sick in all 3 trimesters. So I'm not 100%, you know, what happens at this point. I have very little control over any of it. Favourite colour? I don't really have one. Like, I love yellow. Like, for years, my favourite colour was pink. And I know when we got married, a lot of people were very surprised that I didn't have pink as my accent colour. We had Cadbury's purple. But, you know, I probably own more blue things than any other colour. Like, grey blue is the kind of the main colour in our house. I wear a lot of blue, but I really do like mustard yellow. I love my Jules yellow raincoat. It just makes me happy. But it's still, yeah, I really like pink, but I'm one of those weird people. I don't think I actually have a favourite colour. Oh, this one was a lot. Why are you deemed a high-risk pregnancy? Oh, well. When you go to your first midwife appointment, you get like these giant folders and there's like a tick box exercise, and if you get so many ticks, you're deemed high risk. So IVF gets you a tick because as I think I said earlier, you have a higher risk of having a placenta issue for an IVF baby. I don't know the reasons, I've just been told that by the midwife and by the consultant. So IVF gets me a tick. I'm old. I'm over 35, so that gets me a tick. I have a kidney condition. I have a calcium deficiency. I have a non-perfect BMI. So yeah, I have a cluster of things that, so yeah, I think the biggest thing is the age, BMI, kidney, but they're also very concerned. Like I get extra appointments because it's an IVF baby, even though that's through the NHS. So yes, that's why we're high risk. That's why we take the highest level of aspirin recommended by the midwife. So yeah. What are you having, a girl or a boy? I don't know. I'm having a baby. We're gonna have a baby. We're gonna call it Jesus. Now, about 2 people will get that. It's a reference from the Flint Street Nativity, which is my all-time favourite Christmas watch. Anyway, always said we were going to find out the sex of the baby, which was more driven by me than John. I think John would have been happy with the surprise. But I was like, no, I can't deal with that. Need to know what the baby is. So it was always kind of, even before we were pregnant, even like when we were just doing IVF, it was kind of like, we are finding out what sex our baby is. However, 20-week scan, which is the one where you can normally find out, which for us is due to happen in a few days. I'm having it, yeah, next week. But unfortunately, because of the whole coronavirus thing, John is not allowed to come into the scan appointment. I'm going in alone, and I don't want to find out by myself. So we're not going to find out at this scan, but we are looking into getting a private scan, which John will be allowed to come, and then we'll find out together. Does that sound a bit soppy? It's just, you know, we've done this whole process together. I just find out together. Yeah, so that's kind of the plan now. So it's a little bit longer to wait, but it'll be fine. Oh, favourite song of all time. I've put 2, because I had somebody ask me what's your favourite song of all time and what's your favourite song in the charts. So favourite song of all time, Baz Luhrmann, Sunscreen. I just love it. It's a really bad, cheesy song, but I love it. Favourite song at the moment, I really like that Radio 1 Foo Fighters cover. It kind of gives me tingles. I like it. Baby room tour, will you be doing one? Probably, yeah. I've kind of picked out what I want. Like, what I mean by that is, like, I've kind of picked the kind of design I'd like. It's a very small room, but I've kind of picked the kind of furniture I like, pick the colours I like. I'm kind of thinking, regardless of girl or boy, I'm kind of thinking like a duck egg blue or a very pale blue, just because blue's one of my favourite colours. And then, like, because it's, you know, like with muted pastel-y rainbows, it's kind of like where I'm at. That might change 12 times. You know, originally it was going to be grey. I wanted this grey chevron wallpaper that I saw online, but I've kind of changed my mind. But yeah, yes, can't see why there won't be a baby nursery tour at some point. Baby hauls. Am I going to do any? I don't know if people want to see them. Let me know. Let me know your thought on a baby haul. I've bought a couple of bits. Say at the moment, because of the lockdown, I'm trying really hard not to overspend online, and it's also like I want to touch them. I want to touch the baby grows and things. But yeah, if people want baby hauls, I can share that. How did you and John meet? We met. I'll answer another one. John and I have been married 10 years in October coming up, and we've been together. It was 17 years in February just gone. We met at ASDA. I worked at ASDA. I'd been there for a few years. John had transferred down. He used to be a manager in a northern store. He'd bought his business in Cornwall, but it was having a refit, so he decided to work at ASDA for a month. Was it a month, 6 weeks? While his shop was his post office was having its refit. And yeah, that's how we met. Didn't particularly get on at the beginning, but went to his leaving do because that's what you did, and had a bit of a snog. People still say snog, is that gross? Had a bit of a drunken snog at his leaving do, and yeah, 17 years later we're still going. What's your job? Where do you work? I work for a estate agent who also does lettings. I am not an estate agent. I do not do that. I kind of deal with the contracts side of things, and so say if you wanted to let a property from us, I would be the person referencing you, so like credit history, landlord references, you know, that kind of thing. That's what I do. I found it quite invasive when I first started doing it, you know, looking into people's credit records, and you know, when their credit history wasn't great, having to have the awkward conversations. But it's kind of become a bit, it's part of the process, isn't it? So yeah, that's what I do. Someone asked, have I been to the Lake District? And I think I have. My dad was from Yorkshire, and we did a lot of holidays in Yorkshire growing up. And I'm quite sure we went to the Lake District at some point. But I was a lot younger. Baby names. So, it's tricky because I have a giant family. Like, giant family. And all of my, you know, just even like what people would deem their immediate family, like, you know, siblings and nieces and nephews, there's a lot of us, and we've all got at least one middle name. Some of us have got two middle names. So it's kind of like a lot of names become family names. Does that make sense? And I quite like family names, but at the same time, you know, I really like the name Isabel, but I've got a niece who will be our baby's cousin called Isabel. So it's just kind of like they're still of an age where they're going to play together, and my mum's going to have two grandchildren called Isabel. It's just a bit, do you know what I mean? So that makes it complicated. Also, John likes different names to me. Like one of the nicer ones that he likes is Christoph. Now I like Christoph. I think that's a good name. But I just think, you know, when you've got a 4 or 5-year-old at school learning to spell their name, let's give them an easier name to learn. I also, obviously, John's name is John, and growing up, where, you know, he could always have something with his name on. My name is Katy, but spelt weird. You know, I'm in my 30s and I still get an IE on an email every blimmin' day. So there's a part of me that kind of was like, let's give him a name, like a normal name, but not common. Like, not, I don't mean common as in snobby. I mean like, when I went to school, it literally, in my secondary school, there was like 20 Katys. Do you know what I mean? And everyone was either called Katy, Laura, or Sarah when I went to school, and it was just like, and then you get defined by other things. So like, I was Big Katy, which isn't pleasant when you're a teenage girl. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. And that's kind of an aspect of it. I have a boy's name that I absolutely love, and I've loved for about 2 years. John likes it. He doesn't love it. Girls' names, I have a middle name down. I know what my middle name's going to be. I have 3 girls' names that I really like. And John likes them as well. But John doesn't want to make a decision until we know what sex we're having. So it's not in stone. But yeah, it's kind of, it's a conversation. Biggest regret. I suppose my biggest regrets probably, I'm gonna have 2. I kind of wish I got married earlier. No kinder about it. I definitely wish I got married earlier, and that's not me being soppy about me and John. As I've already said, John and I were together 7 years before we got married. We made the decision to buy a house before getting married. Unfortunately, my dad got cancer, and it was quite quick from diagnosis to him dying. And as such, my dad wasn't at my wedding. My brother did a very good job of giving me away. He was very nervous in the speech, bless him. My dad would have loved it. Like, my brother was nervous giving the speech. My dad would have loved being the centre of attention. He'd love being the centre of attention. And I just think my mum would have had a better time at my wedding if my dad was there. Sorry if you're in a different angle. We had a dog thing and a knock and a, yeah, so I think just slightly different angle. But yes, so that was probably my biggest regret. I kind of wish, kind of wish I got married earlier, just it would have been better. My wedding was lovely. My wedding was beautiful. But I just wish my dad was there. The second one is I wish we did IVF earlier. Because obviously we would watch the IVF video if you've got more questions, but we kind of, after we were told no, after losing the weight, we still kind of faffed around for like a year, 2 years, whatever. We took our sweet time, and obviously now we are successfully pregnant, but I just kind of think it would have been easier. Everything we're told IVF wise is the younger you do it, can you move your bum? The younger you do it, the better your egg quality is, the better chances you've got. You gonna sit down? He's not sure where he wants to go. Drama. Yeah, the younger you do it, the better your chances are, basically. So I wish we did IVF sooner, but I'm very happy now. Right, that's one blimmin' page. This video is too long. Will you do a cook with me videos? Yeah, if people want them. What would you want me to cook? Let me know. How excited are your family about the baby? This is quite funny, actually. I've had quite a few like friends in real life saying, oh, I bet John's family are really excited, like as if my family wouldn't be. I think that's because like my mum's got 15 grandkids and this will be, you know, just another grandkid, whereas this will be John's parents' only grandchild. But no, both sides of the family are very excited, very happy. Somebody asked, what is our Polish connection? Am I originally from Poland? No. So the short version of this story is John's grandma and granddad, or babcia, which is Polish, I think, for grandma, and granddad are both from, or were both from Poland. They came over here after the Second World War, and then met while living here. And so that is John's Polish connection. As we've said previously, John has got Polish citizenship, so he's got dual nationality, so he's got a British passport and a Polish passport. We fully intend that the baby will get a Polish passport because they can. That's nothing, you know, I know some people are like, but you're British, be British. I'm Cornish. No, that's purely to give our child the opportunity to travel as they wish. Brexit is a whole bigger thing. I lost, others won. We are no longer a member of the EU, but luckily, because of John's dual nationality, we still have the right to roam. We can still go there. We can still go and live in Europe. Our child can still be educated anywhere or will be able to be educated anywhere in Europe. We're still able to travel freely, live, have all the rights of an EU citizen, even though England is no longer part of that. So yes. Oh, how old are the boys? So Gilly, we always say the boy's birthday is in the summer, even though technically we don't know when Darwin's birthday is. Gilly we've had since a puppy. So we know that he will be 7 in the summer. Darwin was a rescue dog, and they kind of age rescue dogs from their teeth, but he wasn't in the greatest condition when he got to the rescue place. So they think he was around 2, might be a little bit younger, might be a little bit older. So Darwin will be 10. So we basically celebrate their birthdays in the summer together. So Darwin will be 10. They are both lurchers. I think some people think they're greyhounds, and I think that's because when I do a video, Darwin's head is here, but I'm sat on the floor. They're not as big as you think they are. So I'm 5'7" and a bit. Darwin comes just above my knee. Gilly is just below my knee. Gilly is quite a bit smaller than Darwin. Darwin is a lurcher. He's crossed with a greyhound and a whippet. And Gilly is a whippet and a long-haired lurcher cross. There's greyhound somewhere in Gilly, but not as strongly as Darwin. That's why I say he's got long-haired lurcher in him, which is why he's more fluffier, whereas Darwin has got the traditional short-haired, flat, neat coat. Already done that one. Do you plan on going back to work after the baby? Yes, is the short answer. Most of the women in my family, once they've had children, they become full-time mums. And that is something that I would like. It's very tricky because obviously it's finances and things. I very much like the idea of raising my own child rather than it going to nursery. That's no judgment on anyone else's life choices. But you know, my mum gave up work when she had kids, and my dad, you know, looked after the finances, as did my eldest sister with her children. You know, my eldest niece has done the same with her children. You know, it's just a choice to be a full-time mum. So there's somebody there. You know, if you're lucky enough to get a job where you work school hours, but you know, then there's always that thing of summer holidays and if the kid's ill. So I really see the benefits of being a stay-at-home mum. And obviously there's also the stuff, you don't miss anything. You see everything because you're there. You know, you catch that first word, you see the first step, you see all of the milestones which you might miss if you go back to work. The other side of that is the financial side of having a baby, and the financial side of, you know, childcare is expensive. John and I, from what we've seen, what we've looked at, we will not be entitled to any, even if I stop work, income wise we won't get any support. Benefit wise we'll literally get child benefit and that's it. And obviously we're very used to having two incomes, but at the same time obviously we've been spending our money on IVF and we don't have to do that anymore, but we'll be spending money on the baby, which is also very expensive. So current plan is yes, I will be going back to work. I don't know if it'll be full time. We've still got enough time to talk about that and work that out. Have you bought anything big for the baby yet? No. I'd say kind of picked my pram, I've kind of picked my cot, but I'd really like to see it. Obviously if travel restrictions and shops aren't open, you know, at that point we'll have to just bite the bullet and buy it online, but currently not bought any of the big stuff yet. Cravings, sweet corn, apples. I'm eating a lot of those. I also have a really deep desire to eat custard donuts, but I think that's more to do with the fact that you can't get them. That's my inner fat girl or my outer fat girl, rather than a pregnancy craving. It's like, and how I know the difference is I can open a tin of sweet corn and I want to eat it cold. Like the other day I opened some corn on the cob and I'm like, I had to physically stop myself from putting it straight in my mouth, which I've never kind of been about sweet corn like that before. Whereas custard donuts, they can always be eaten. Have you had any comments about being an older pregnant lady? No, not really. I think it's a mixture of things. Like out of my siblings, I am the youngest. You know, my mum was older when she had me. There's quite an age gap. Like there's 15 years between me and my eldest sibling. So they're like, they were born bang, bang, bang right after each other. And then there was like a 13-year gap, 12-year gap for me, I think it was. So my mum was an older mum for her last pregnancy, you know. And I think it's also at work, I am the youngest member of staff, even though I'm like over 35. I'm the youngest member of staff at work. So they all treat me a little bit like, do you know what I mean? They have the radio on and they're like, oh, Katy won't remember this song. So I think a lot of people in my life perceive me younger than I am because I'm the baby of my mum's family, like my sibling group, and I am the youngest at work. I think a lot of people perceive me to be younger than I am. I got a lot of old comments through IVF because technically, you know, after 30, egg quality drops. But so far as being a pregnant person, I've been okay. Will you be having a normal delivery, home birth, C-section? We're not allowed a home birth. We've already been told that. We were told that really early on, but that's part of the whole high-risk pregnancy thing. I'd like to have a normal birth with all the drugs. All the drugs. I'm quite hippie. Like, I think I should be okay. I am slightly worried. My dad, I think, was like a 13-pound baby. I think John weighed something like 10 pounds when he was born. So, you know, I'm going to take all the drugs that the midwife and the birthing team recommend. But yeah, if a C-section happens, it happens. But I think the plan is standard birth in a hospital with all the medical people. Where will you be having the baby? The plan is to have the baby in Cornwall, at the hospital in Truro. However, we are due to go to a wedding up north in September. Obviously, we don't know if that's still happening, because obviously gatherings and things, by then it might be allowed to go to this wedding. So we might end up with a northern baby, which I think would make John quite happy. Rather than a Cornish baby. But yeah, the plan is to have the baby here. Do you plan to breastfeed? I'm going to try. Definitely going to try. I wasn't breastfed as a child because I was very prem. I wasn't breastfed, and I'm all right. I'm going to try and breastfeed. It's something that I want to do, but I'm not going to put a whole lot of pressure on myself, because I know I've had friends where they just couldn't do it. Their milk didn't come in, the baby wouldn't latch, you know, or I've had friends where they've had really giant babies and they just couldn't produce enough to keep the baby full, and like then they felt like failures and things. And I think, you know, there's so much pressure on women throughout every aspect of their life. I'm like, I will try and breastfeed, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Goals for the next 10 years. Healthy baby, healthy child, move, lived in this house too long. Happy, healthy, hopefully a little bit just, you know, if life is exactly the same as it is now, but we have a 10-year-old, 9-year-old, great. Do you know what I mean? I'm quite happy with my lot, but, you know, it'd be nice to have a different house. It'd be nice to have a lot of things. But yeah, if life is exactly the same as it is now, but we have a 9-year-old, then that's great. Do you like the beard? Or be honest. Yes, obviously. It's lockdown at the moment. John's not been able to go to the barbers since like March, so it's looking a little bit scruffy, but I do like the beard. It was May. John and I had been together a couple of months and I convinced him to try a goatee. And he's had facial hair ever since. He's had goatees, and he's had like do they call it a boot strap when they have it here? And he's had different lengths of beard. I really like facial hair on him. It's also the fact that without a beard, John looks 12. He has a complete baby face, and obviously, you know, I don't look 12, so, you know. Yeah, it is a little bit scruffy at the moment, but as I say, the barbers are closed. What can you do? But yes, I like the beard. Worst part of pregnancy? The crying. Oh, I'm not normally a person to talk about mental health or things like that because I'm not medically qualified. I don't, you know, obviously I can have moments where I feel anxious. You know, I would probably say when our second round of IVF didn't work, I would probably say I was depressed, but I've never been medically told any of this. So I'm always kind of a little bit careful with how I talk about anxiety and mental health online because I'm not an expert. However, the worst bit about pregnancy for me so far, because I've still got a while to go, was end of my first trimester, beginning of my second trimester, I was sad. A lot. I was really sad. Like, I started vlogging when I started lockdown, and I just had to stop because I was just crying like all the time. And I don't know if that was all hormones or if it was scared about lockdown. A lot of it, I would say, was guilt, because I'd spent all this time trying to get pregnant. Like, we had been trying to get pregnant for almost 10 years. I'm finally pregnant and all I'm doing is crying. And, you know, and then the more guilt I felt, the more I cried. And nobody had ever told me that I was going to feel like that. I'm kind of through it now, and it kind of really changed quite quickly when I could feel the baby moving, that like flutter that you get, and the tears stopped. And and I've not really, like, don't get me wrong, I see a video with a dog that's been neglected on, like, you know, an RSPCA video, that still makes me well up, but that did before I was pregnant. But yeah, I kind of think that was the worst bit about pregnancy. Another weird one though, I am covered in bruises, like covered in bruises, and that's the aspirin. I don't normally bruise easily, but literally I get dizzy spells now and again, and you just like knock into the sofa and then like that chunk of my leg is black. But apparently that's the aspirin. Oh, sorry, that's the aspirin that's making that happen. Will you do more IVF? Let's see how labour goes. We do have 2 more embryos in the freezer, so I do feel somewhat connected to them. But obviously it took us 3 goes to get this one. So we could go through another 2 transfers and it not work. We could have 2 transfers and both work. I don't know. We don't have to make any decisions now. They're in the freezer. They're safe. They can stay there for a very long time. We could choose to donate them to other people that are going through IVF. But that's a decision for the future. Favourite makeup product. I haven't got like I really like the Chanel blah blah blah. I don't have something like that. I think my favourite product to buy would definitely be lipstick. My lipstick collection is definitely my largest makeup item. I kind of buy lipstick a lot. I do. Yes, I do, Darwin. Which is a little bit insane because I tend to wear the same 3 lipsticks over and over again. But lipstick is the item I'm drawn to. Would you ever have plastic surgery? Hell yeah. Do you know what I mean? Crap hair, crap teeth, podgy as hell. Of course I would have plastic surgery. After going through yeah, I would have the Stacey Solomon teeth. I know she apparently gets people that are horrible about her teeth. My teeth are vile, so I'd have those done. I'd have all the Botox to get rid of this. Definitely have a boob job after breastfeeding. Yeah, if I had the money, yeah. I'm not squeamish about that kind of thing. I don't think I'd have something like I'm saying this, like, you know, people have like nose jobs and things. I don't think I'd do that. I would just kind of want to look like a younger, better version of myself rather than like changing my face. Like, does that make sense? I hope so. If you won the lottery, what would you do? All the plastic surgery. No. If I won the lottery, pay off the mortgage. Depends how much I won, I suppose. Take my mum on holiday. We used to go on these big holidays when I was a kid, like a convoy of us would go up to Yorkshire. We've not done that in years, obviously, because there's so many of us now. But I suppose if we won big bucks, be like, let's everybody go somewhere sunny together. That'd be quite nice. And then longer term, we'd probably buy a few houses, become landlords. We'd probably buy a permanent base in Poland, you know. Do that. The only tricky thing with having a home in a different country is what you do with the boys, because Darwin's got a heart condition, so he can't fly. So we'd have to drive him across every time, which wouldn't be fun. We once drove Darwin to the Isle of Wight for his first holiday and he hated it. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, holidays and houses, I suppose. Oh, who are your favourite YouTubers and why? So I'm aware I've been now talking for like an hour, so I'll try and make this quick. I actually, when doing this, I went through my like recently watched videos on YouTube to see who it was. I definitely watched a mixture of people, and I watched different people, I think, for different things. So Patricia Bright, love her, watched her for a very long time. Jeffree Star, I must admit I love his Insta stories. But yeah, Jeffree Star. It's I watch everything Emma puts up, be that a travel video or a clothing haul or her just talking about marble cake. Everything Emma puts up, I watch. Claire Witt. So I kind of, oh, actually, I'll go back to Emma a second. Met Emma in real life and I've met Chris. They are both delightful people. Claire Witt, I watch her a lot. I'm somewhat obsessed with her cooking videos, food videos. I also really love, she does like what Alistair's getting for his birthday, and or like what's in the kids' Christmas Eve box. I love her videos like them, and that was even before I was pregnant. She's also Miles, her youngest, is kind of doing the whole weaning, like learning his favourite food type thing, because he's so cute, and I really enjoy that. I've actually been watching quite a lot of weaning videos. Like, my baby's not even born yet and I'm already thinking about weaning recipes. It's insane. But really enjoy that. I really like a lady called with two E's, Queen of Thrift. She's an American lady. She buys stuff from like Goodwill and charity shops and resells them. She's like, that's her full-time job, like reselling stuff on like Poshmark and eBay and stuff. And I just find it interesting. I watch her a lot. It's Judy's Life and Fleur de Force are kind of the two YouTubers that I watched at the very beginning of like joining YouTube, and I still watch them. I like them. Sophie Payne, I really like her content. I follow her on Instagram too. Love her hair. I love her hair. But yeah, she does a lot of clothing haul things. She's recently been talking about her fertility, which I think is very brave. Yeah, I really like her. Madeline Olivia. So I have seen her. I've not met her. She lives quite close to me. And when you're walking around Falmouth vlogging, it kind of sticks out a bit. You know what I mean? So I've seen her, I've not met her. She mostly does vegan cooking food type videos. Obviously, I'm not a vegan, but I still enjoy her videos. You know, I have made a couple of her recipes and just added bacon or chicken. But yeah, I like her. Fairyland Cottage is a guilty pleasure of mine. I think she's in Ireland. It's a lady, and she does videos about minimalism and like make and mend and a very slow life. And she does like videos where she's gone to the beach and picked up rubbish and things. And it sounds really strange, but she has the most therapeutic, soothing voice on earth. And even though obviously I don't have a minimalist lifestyle, I don't follow the same things that she does, I just enjoy her content. And then I've got two like family vloggers type thing. This Gathered Nest, I've talked about them before. They are a beautiful family of 10. They have 8 children, a mixture of biological children, adopted embryos that she's then gone on and given birth to, and like international. They're from different parts of the world, and it's just this beautiful blended family, and they just make me feel hopeful, if that makes sense. And the other one is the Mitchellacks, which I used to watch religiously, like every Sunday. Don't watch them as religiously because some of their stuff just isn't always my instant click, but I still watch them. Will we be having any more dogs? Not for a while. I think 2 dogs and a baby is enough. We always talked about how I'd like a Irish wolfhound, but not for a few years. Am I having a baby shower? I don't think so. Lockdown is kind of stopping that, I think. Maybe, but I doubt it. My best and worst traits. I'm running out of space. Things are flashing at me. Best and worst traits. Oh, I swear like a sailor. I will say I'm starving, do a big plate of food, and then pick at it. I am the worst friend for texting back. I either text you back within 30 seconds or not for 2 weeks. I am sarcastic. And I slip into a northern accent without really realising it. Can't help it. Good traits. I keep a secret. It's probably the best. You know, if you tell me something that's a secret, I will keep it. Other good traits. Let's just keep to the secret thing. If you could only shop at one shop for the rest of your life, where would you shop? If I was rich, it would be Liberty. It is my favourite. Liberty's in London is or Liberty of London, my favourite shop of the world. I love it. But yeah, I'd have to be super rich because everything there is quite expensive. And if you were going to a desert island and you could only take 3 makeup items, what would you take? After Sun with fake tan in it, because I always tan patchy. Lip balm, because I am the queen of dry lips. And mascara, because I think with a tan and a lip balm, all you could do, you know, mascara would be the answer. That is all my questions. Whew. Well, I did have one. Somebody asked me why I prefer Gilly to Darwin, which made me really sad. I don't prefer Gilly to Darwin. Gilly prefers me over Darwin. Like, Darwin is John's dog. Like, Darwin was bought for me or rescued for me. But he's just a man's dog. He just prefers the company of men. And Gilly is kind of the other way. Gilly much prefers the company of ladies. Like, if we had guests over, if we were allowed, you know, if a male and female couple came over to visit us, Darwin would go to the male. It's just a man's dog. So it's not that I prefer Gilly over Darwin. It's just, yeah, Darwin prefers John over me. Most people do. Anyway, that is my extremely long video. If you've made it to the end, put the word coffee in the comments. And yeah, if there are any other questions you would like to know, ask. Put it below. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry it's so long. Bye guys, take care.